Welcome back, everybody, to more Leif Plays Cities Skylines. I'm Leif. Here we are back in our city, and we've got, as always, major traffic problems. But today we are going to solve a whole bunch of them, I think. So let me show you first of all something I just did that I think will help. I was observing the traffic patterns here, and we've got a lot of people coming down this highway here, and they were exiting either on this ramp here, which I actually just added, or this one here. And they were traveling down here, over this block, as you can see, down this block, around here, and down this way, with the intent to get into our industrial zone. And that's, that's absurd. We don't want people driving through this area just to get over to this other industrial zone over here. So actually this little thing here is kind of a mistake, because this is funneling people there purposefully. So we're going to actually get rid of that. So let's delete that. And now this traffic would otherwise come down this big ramp and then go around and come up this way. But we've created this little bypass, so now all of this traffic, and it's mainly garbage trucks, as you can see, because our main garbage processing is in this area. Those now are just going to bypass here and leave our sort of residential and commercial zone alone. So we should see, if we speed this up a bit, we should see these inner intersections here get a little bit better. And of course, this is a major cramp right there. But what we are going to do this episode is rearrange this industrial zone, clean that up finally, and hopefully that will get some of this fixed. So that's our goal. And as you can see, yeah, these intersections on the inside here are getting a little bit better. We still have some issues where we're transferring from over here to over here. We've got too many intersections, and we might rearrange these roads to get rid of some of these short pieces. But that is looking a whole lot better right in here. So that was a good move. And if you look at overall traffic in the city, the problem spots are still as they always were. So let's get to doing this area. Now, one of the things that we got to have done is these landfills emptied. So that's happening as we work here. So to start with, I'm going to straighten out these roads, and actually, in order to do that, we are going to need to purchase a little bit of extra land. So I'm going to purchase this block here for 12,000. And yeah, we have tons of money, so that shouldn't be a problem. So let's buy that, and actually let's buy this for good measure, just in case we need that a little bit more of that corner there. So let's jump back into here, and we'll get these straightened out at least as far as these little tail ends here, and then hook it back up to the highway, and we'll probably continue to adjust that as we go forward. But for now, we're going to do that. So I'll be back with you when that is done. Alright, we've got the highways straightened out a bit here, and as you can see, I start to add this 6-lane one-way parallel here. And the reason I did that in that spot, actually let's let it keep running, is we have room for a nice zone on the highway side here, so we won't waste too much space. I think I do want to retain this little loop here. We'll see how this goes. One problem that we have right now, if you see these garbage trucks, they're coming up here for the dumps and 2 incinerators up here at this side. But I started to move a lot of the incinerators over here. So we're having garbage trucks that are trying to empty these landfills coming down through this zone, across here, back up and around. So when we connect this industrial zone over here to our incinerator zone here, that should be a lot better. And I think the pollution is just to the edge of where our nice area begins, so I think this is an ideal spot for those incinerators if we can get the traffic flow working nicely. So that's something that is still clogging up this area. But let's check our landfills here. 27%, 40%, 33%, and then these ones are totally full. But let's let that keep running. And I think what I want to do then is move this section of this loop out to line up with this this one-way here, and then bring that all the way back to this corner here where this crazy intersection is, and clean up this corner here, and then we can start straightening out these roads and decide a better traffic flow for this whole area. So I will get this strip here done and be back with you to show you what we've got. Alright, we are back, and this is what I have so far. So this right side, as you can see, is still mostly the way it was. So I think we'll move from the left to the right and clean it up as we go. I don't want to destroy the city's, virtually its entire industrial base, because it does take a little bit of time to rebuild it, so we want to look out for that. But the basic flow here is in from this raised area in both directions, left and right, goes into the zone. So off to the right is a one-way ring that comes back to this one-way that is then the exit, and that exits both directions on the south freeway. Then if we go from this raised section left, it should be a one-way, comes around this ring, around the top, and back to this 6-lane one-way out. So that's out to this highway here, but I also want out to this highway, so we'll probably do that right here, create an interchange from this intersection out to this highway. Now currently the only in is from this zone here, which is not really what we want. I mean, we do want the in from this zone, but we also want to be able to come in from both of these two highways that come through this interchange. So we're going to have to figure out a way to probably to get up onto this overpass here from these highways, and from these highways we'll have to have an in somewhere as well. Maybe in this corner we'll come in here and out here, if that makes sense. So before we get too far here, I wanted to record again and give you an idea of what was going on. I think it's a little hard to zone this stuff now that this garbage is still here. And that's still got a ways to go. 26%, 40%, 33%, and these two are full. So let's get these emptied. But in the meantime, we need to start recovering our industry. So let's zone this edge here first of all. Actually, before we zone it, let's look at our services. So we've got fire here, and if we put fire sort of in here, that looks like it's going to be pretty good for coverage. It'll get better once those middle roads get connected up. You can kind of see how far that's likely to cover. So let's put that right there. Actually, is it any better here than here? I think it will be in the future. So let's throw that down. Let's also demolish some of these roads. I'm using these kind of as templates right now, but I think I want something like, I want to force traffic onto the high capacity roads. So I think what I want to do is kind of break up the through roads on the 2-lane pieces. So we'll see what that looks like. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Let's actually block these off then, here and here, and we'll delete this piece, so we'll have double blocks there. These single pieces here won't be single pieces. I'll extend them off to the left here, I think, when I'm able to clean up this garbage zone. And we probably should just connect this up in the short term to allow traffic in through there. Alright, so now we can get our zoning done. Let's just zone all of this. Let's see, actually let's blow up this stuff just so we can get a clean zone. Sometimes it's hard to see if you're really zoning stuff properly when there's buildings already there. Yeah, as you can see, there were little bits and pieces left over, so this looks, that's one block too narrow, isn't it? Okay, that's really annoying. I thought that I did that correctly. I'm just looking at this block here. If you'll notice, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tiles in that block, which we do not want. We want 8 tile wide blocks just to maximize the nice big buildings that we can get. So we're going to have to actually rebuild a bit of this. Let's just take a look here quickly. I think we can do this quickly on screen. So this one actually needs to be bumped out by 1 more. So that'll give us 9 there, and then we got to bump this guy out by 1. So that should come right here. And then we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, okay, that is correct. Alright, that was kind of a bummer. We got to rebuild this strip here, but that's not too bad. Take out those little tails so that it all fits. And let's come back in here. So we got this one way coming out there. There. Let's delete the tail. Swap directions. There. Okay, that's looking right. And then we can just bring this one nearly over there. We'll just connect it with a straight piece. Actually, yeah, that'll come this other direction. So let's do the old swapperoo here. That's going out. And then all of this is coming into there. Excellent. Okay, so now we can delete these bits. Okay, that wasn't so bad. There we go. I'm glad that we did that before there was a lot of water pipes and stuff. Not that it matters where the water pipes are exactly, but it kind of matters to me, as I am always telling you. So one more over. That's 8 and 8 and 8. Okay, perfect. That works out then. So yeah, this section is going to do like that, and then probably here as well. Okay, that's looking much better, and then this will go, and this will go, and this will go. Okay, does that kind of make sense what we're doing here? And again, these weird zones, the building's already there. Let's rezone that. And this is a little funky on this corner, but that'll get fixed when all these roads straighten out. Okay, so let's finish zoning all of that. And we might as well zone this funny edge here as well, just in the meantime. We want stuff to still be working for us, getting us tax revenue, giving us jobs, that sort of thing. Okay, so I think what we want to do is then that as well. So I'm just trying to minimize intersections along these busy roads so that there's just less traffic backup, and minimize the short sections as much as possible. Ooh, so now why is that not zoned? That's kind of strange. Let's try this little where is it? This trick here. Let's see what happens if we do this edge. Okay, that's probably is better than it was before. A little bit more efficient. We lose that corner, but we get nice square blocks there. Okay, I think that's probably good for now. This is still really weird in here, but we'll let's just rezone some of this. Make sure that it can be built on. And we'll just throw all of that down. Okay, and might as well put this down for now as well. And rezone some of this stuff here. Okay. Hopefully this isn't too disastrous for our city. we're gonna take a huge hit in jobs before this stuff rebuilds, so it could be kind of ugly. All right, and you know me, I really feel like it should be straightened out. So I'll do this off camera and be back with you when this is done. Okay, we got our water coverage. Actually, let's just make sure that it's connected up, and we'll probably fix these connections later on, make them nice and pretty. But there we go, we got coverage, so that's good. So let's jump out here, and let's just make sure that we, in fact, have electrical coming over to this area. So we've got it connected there and here, and we might as well connect up a little bit more here. And I think if we go, is that too close? Might be too close. We can probably grab it. Let's see. I'm not sure that's gonna work actually, but let's bring it to there and then jump across to, we gotta do it a little bit at a time, it looks like. Okay, so we've got that there, and electrical should be coming in okay. That's breaking up our zone a little bit, but maybe we can bring in a little bit here. That's going to be tricky to get through there, isn't it? Let's see if we bring it down a little bit. No, that's probably not a good way to do it. We'll leave it as it was, maybe, just right there. We lose one little zone, but once this is connected up, we can fix some of that. Alright, well, I think we are ready to let this run now. So let's turn it back on and see what happens. And we'll let it run quickly here. Let's look at our traffic. So currently the only way in is through this zone down here, which could be a problem. We might want to create some freeway entrances, especially over here, but well, we'll see in the short term what happens. So there's our zones, and okay, we got people moving in. That's a really good sign. We're actually not losing population yet, so that's really interesting. Okay, here it starts. Maybe, yeah, losing a bit, and probably our unemployment is increasing, and we should be able to look at that here. Let's see here. Where is it? Available jobs and employment percentage. Let's turn off population. Actually, employment percentage, yeah, dropped a bit, and our available jobs dropped some, but not too bad actually, which is kind of nice to see. So let's let this keep running here. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be, so that is really good. And look, our industrial just dropped. The demand dropped way down, and I think that's because the population changes a little bit and the jobs leave, and everything takes some time to readjust, so it doesn't necessarily pop up our okay, we got some power problems here. It doesn't necessarily pop the demand right back the way it was. Alright, let's connect that up. Good, so our existing industry still has power, and we are popping up a few new ones there. And let's see, we're still at 26%, 39%, 31% on our emptying landfills. I think ideally it'd be nice to get rid of the landfills entirely and not use them, rely purely on incinerators. So that might be a really good thing. Let's check here. We've got some issues. What are they saying? Not enough workers. So that could be due to traffic. You know, people not being able to get into the zone. So we may want to do something like an entrance from this piece of highway up to here, like we were talking about before. We'll see. Okay, it's we're getting businesses moving in, still having these no worker problems. So maybe in the short term, let's let it run here. Let's hook up that, and we'll exit here. So let's just do that in the short term. That gives a little bit more access to this area from this main highway, which would be good. And let's see, what else is there to do? I think we're just going to watch it now and see how this evolves as it fills up. And as you can see, this really got cleaned up in this corner. This interchange here is still kind of bad, but getting this, getting traffic to move up into this area without going through here was really helpful. So that should be really good. All right, here we are. I've let the game run a little bit just to see, how things are going to turn out. We've filled in pretty good in the new areas. Traffic looks not too bad. You see just some of these weird intersections that we will end up fixing later, and this temporary entrance is causing some problems. But within the zone, it's looking really good. And if we just check our city stats, we will see our population is dipping, but that will get better, I think. Our employment percentage dipped, but we're gonna bring that back up. It's starting to change a little bit. And if you look at available jobs, they dipped not too far, but we've almost completely recovered. So with just a little bit more time, I think this is going to look a lot better, and this is also going to look a lot better. And if we just look at the amount of zoning, we took out almost half of our industrial zone, but it's pretty much completely recovered now. So we're looking pretty good. Our tax revenue didn't change much at all. So anyway, I hope this was enjoyable for everybody to see a little bit more got accomplished this episode, I think, than episodes in the past. So I hope that was a good improvement. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like. That will keep helping me make more of these for you to enjoy. And if you haven't already, you can subscribe to my channel and keep up to date with everything else that I do. And as always, if you have any tips or tricks or hints or other comments or anything that you want to say, leave them in the comments. I read all of my comments and try to reply to all of them as well. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a great day. Until next time, I'll see you then.